Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to day one of our Squeaky Clean Keto Challenge. I am chugging down some water and then I'm gonna make some coffee and just jump into this day, y'all. I'm going to be recording every single day the rest of this month and show you everything that I'm eating and drinking on the Squeaky Clean Keto Challenge. If you're wondering what Squeaky Clean Keto is, go watch this video up here where I explain my plan. So here is my lineup for the day. It is like 12:15, getting ready to have my first cup of coffee. This was my water this morning, and then after I'm done with coffee, I'll start in on my first Zip Fizz in this cup. For me, y'all, I always do a better job when I drink out of something that I love, like that's pretty. So I'm obsessed with what I drink out of, like my drink containers. I don't know. Is it just me? So this is how I'm going to start off my day after having about 20 ounces of ice water first. I'm really planning to start my day each day with water and then go into my coffee. And I'm planning to use Nut Pods creamers instead of heavy whipping cream. Mainly just for a little bit less dairy, but also because I'm kind of doing like a dirty fasting, meaning I'm not having just water during my fasting, but I'm not planning to eat actual food or have anything with major calories in it until after 3 p.m. Hey y'all, it is about 1:20 and I am finishing up my first Zip Fizz of the day. And I did want to say that Zip Fizz is not ideal. It's definitely not squeaky clean. It's kind of my one allowance. I have some health issues and I really have to work hard on my electrolyte balance, and Zip Fizz seems to do it for me. So I'm gonna have one Zip Fizz a day, then I'm gonna have one drink from Perfect Keto Electrolytes because that is definitely a cleaner ingredient, and I'm hoping the combination of the two will work this month. Usually I have 2 Zip Fizz a day, so we're gonna try that today anyways, but right now I'm finishing up this one. All right, y'all, this is what the daily electrolytes from Perfect Keto look like. It is pink lemonade is the one that I'm using. I really like it. It's got a teeny tiny little scoop, and I'm gonna add that to water. There are the ingredients and the macros. Really good amount of electrolytes in here. I'm very impressed with how much potassium is in here, and also how it has a good amount of sodium, but it's not like overly salty. Truthfully, it tastes good even in just like an 8-ounce glass of water, but I tend to like to dilute things more, and I usually drink out of this size glass, so I'm just gonna fill that up. It is about 2 o'clock and I am feeling pretty hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat my first meal of the day. This is leftovers from last night, so it is just a cheeseburger with some mushrooms that had been sauteed. Then I'm gonna do a tablespoon of this mayonnaise and just a little bit of yellow mustard. All right, so there is my lunch, y'all. I just finished up on my lunch and started in on, well, I finished lunch about half an hour ago and started in on my Perfect Keto drink. This is the Perfect Keto Daily Electrolytes in here in 32 ounces of water. It's the pink lemonade. It's a brand new product. It comes in a bunch of different flavors. If you're interested, my link for Perfect Keto is always in the description below. There's not any kind of special sale on it, but you can use my discount if you've not used Perfect Keto before. There's lots of great Perfect Keto products, but a little bit short of breath, y'all. I'm mostly completely over the shortness of breath from post-COVID, but every once in a while it catches up on me. I just finished making meatloaf, and I guess I needed to take a break before I chatted, but y'all just bear with me. I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about this Squeaky Clean Keto Challenge. Number one, I have no idea where the name came from. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It popped into my head, Squeaky Clean Keto, and I hadn't seen that used before, so I thought that's what I would call this challenge. So hashtag Squeaky Clean Keto. And basically I did a whole video explaining it, but let me just kind of say real quickly, we're just coming into January and so many people are wanting to try keto for the first time, wanting to get their health in order, or have fallen off the wagon over the holidays and want to get back to keto. And that's kind of where I am. I ate a lot of keto things, but some non-keto things as well. And then once I got COVID, it totally went out the window, and all I wanted to eat was like potatoes, which I had not eaten in years. But that's like what felt good to me. And when you're sick, you really, really should stick to low carb. Like, your body will heal so much better than if you're giving it sugar. I am not an example there, y'all. I'm just being honest. That's what happened while I had COVID. I didn't eat a whole lot of anything, but what I did eat was not clean keto. I was not craving protein. I was craving potatoes, and that's what I ate. So I am coming back from that, and I've also been having alcohol on a regular basis, and it's just time to kind of clean it up. I have gained more weight than I've gained in a very long time. I'm up to 182 pounds, and 170 to 173 is my happy place. So, you know, that's 10 pounds or more, 12 pounds if you go from the 170. So it's time to clean it up. And what I plan to do, y'all, is just clean it up. Like, stick to simple for the most part and clean whole foods. I want to stick to clean whole foods, and I want to stay low carb. I'm not completely cutting out vegetables or doing like a whole carnivore type thing or anything like that, but I do think that I'm going to limit my vegetables and try to really focus on protein first, protein forward, getting my protein, eating it from as clean whole sources as possible. I'm doing 0 gluten and 0 bad oils. I'm trying to keep it super, super clean, squeaky clean, right? That's where it's coming from, squeaky clean. And as little processed as possible. If I have a bar or throw in something processed, I'm gonna try and make it the cleanest possible choice, like a perfect keto bar or something like that. But for the most part, I'm gonna eliminate all of that for this month too. I don't think that that's a bad product. I don't think that we should never eat a processed product again. I'm just saying, for right now, for this month, I'm gonna clean it up and dial it back and rein it in and focus on clean quality ingredients, focus on protein. And I'm not saying I'm never gonna go back to eating some more lazy keto or some more dirty keto, but I don't know, y'all. If you are new to me, I'm so glad to have you. Welcome, welcome. My name is Erica. I've lost over 100 pounds on the ketogenic diet. Well, now 90, I guess, if you look at that. I also had vertical sleeve gastrectomy in my past. I have found that I lost no faster after VSG than I did before when I had started keto. My speed of weight loss did not increase with VSG, and it brought a lot of issues for me, mainly reflux, heartburn, gastritis, esophagitis. So I struggle to recommend that surgery, but I'm not against people that are making that choice. And a lot of my followers have had weight loss surgery in their past and are realizing that weight loss surgery is not a cure-all and it's only a tool. It can be a really great tool in your arsenal to help you get going on weight loss, but it will not ever lead to long-term weight loss unless you change your lifestyle, whether that just is intentional eating, whether that's fasting and eating in a window, whether that's keto, whatever works for you, you've got to find a new lifestyle. So that said, for me, it's keto, and I also have some health issues, and I've got fibromyalgia, I've got POTS, well, I'm not going to go through all my health issues, but because of that, being anti-inflammatory in what I eat greatly helps my symptoms, So getting in some good movement, slow, gentle movement for my body in a heated environment, which is what I do for my exercise, is at Bikram yoga. And I'm able to really, really stretch my body, really elevate my heart rate, but in a safe environment for my body, because I am a chronically disabled person. But that really helps me, and also eating an anti-inflammatory diet. When I don't eat an anti-inflammatory diet, I feel way more symptoms. I wish I could say that when I eat completely anti-inflammatory, low-carb keto, that my symptoms are gone. That's not the case for me. I still struggle. I still have all my chronic issues. I still live in daily pain. But the levels and the peaks and valleys and the ability to handle it are much better when I'm doing this, as well as for my mental health. I am much better when I am doing this. So it's important for me to get back, and for me, getting back to as squeaky clean as possible is what I am needing. So that said, I'm just gonna continue on the day. I'll show you what we have for dinner, and I wish I could take you into Bikram yoga and show you some of that, but it's not really fair to the other people for me to be filming that. So I won't be filming that, but I'll let you know when I do that. And then I'm just gonna keep filming every day what I eat. Like I said, I did have vertical sleeve gastrectomy in my past, so sometimes people will look at my portions and be like, she's not eating anything, but I will share macros at the end and let you know where I am. I try to stay between 1,000 and 1,300. I'd like to be more at the 1,300, but as long as I'm over 1,000, I'm pretty happy with myself. My body handles that well. And I'm also planning, I was originally saying I was gonna intermittent fast from 5 days a week, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. But I think I'm gonna change that window from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. because I wanna make sure I am getting in enough calories. I'm not trying to get into some major calorie deficit, just eating what my body can handle at this point out from my surgery. I am 2 years in November, so I'm starting to eat a little bit more at a time, but I can't eat huge portions. So I can't do just completely 2 meals a day generally. And I can't do, 1 meal a day for sure. I just can't eat that kind of quantity. So that said, that's my plan, y'all. I also am wearing my continuous blood sugar monitor and monitoring everything, and I will share with you at the end of the day what happened with my blood sugar and what my thoughts are on that as well. And then each week I will come in and do a what's for dinner video and show you everything that I had planned for the week meal-wise for dinners and what I actually ate. So I hope I'm gonna be like flooding y'all with lots of great content, and I hope that this is super, super encouraging. I want it from my heart to be super encouraging to you, and I hope that it comes across that way, and I hope some of you maybe join me on this challenge or your version of this challenge and check back in with me so that I can just keep encouraging you. All right. I started to say bye, not bye. I'll see y'all in a little bit. It's just the middle of the day, Erica. It's about 6:30. I'm headed to 5:30. It's 5:30. I'm headed to yoga. I just took a couple electrolyte salt pills. This is what I have in the car. Perfect Keto makes some that I really like, but this electrolyte salt with pink Himalayan salt, I take this before yoga to make sure that my electrolytes are good. And then on the way here, I've been drinking my electrolyte drink from Perfect Keto. So I will see y'all after yoga. All right, y'all, I just left yoga. It's raining outside, so like that's what all this stuff all over me is. That's not marks, that's stuff. That's not marks. But I have kind of this new routine since my rosacea, because hot yoga is not supposed to be good for rosacea, but it's so good for my body. I'm shaking. This is my first time back since my rosacea. I had gotten so far and now I'm like back to square one, but it is what it is. But what I'm doing is I take this Smart Skin antimicrobial, and I heard about this from Dr. Dre. She's a dermatologist on YouTube that talks a lot about rosacea. But anyways, I washed my face in the bathroom right before I came out, and then I spray this antimicrobial all over it and let it dry. It turns to water on your face. What it is, well, basically it's like an ionized water. It's got sodium chloride, hydrochlorous acid, and hypochlorite ion. I don't know what I'm saying, y'all, but she talked about this being really, really good. And I don't like to wash my face a ton because of the rosacea and it's irritating. So if I come out and then I spray this and let it dry, and then I'm taking a like freezer roller that I brought in a cooler bag, and I'm gonna do this over my face for a few minutes to get that hot air gone, all the hotness gone out of my face. And I'm just gonna roll this for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna take off home and just drink water the entire way home. So I don't know if this roller is helpful or not, but I know when I'm having an actual flare up and it's really hot and painful that this seems to help. So it makes sense. So this is gonna be my routine, and we'll see what happens to my face. If this ends up not working and my rosacea starts to flare again with the hot yoga, there is a therapy. You can go to your dermatologist and have laser therapy, and that seems to work really well for people that get flare-ups with exercise. So that may be in my future, but I'm hoping to avoid that. I've got it under control really pretty well compared to where it had been. If you've not seen my rosacea journey, I'll leave that up above. But this is the plan, and I am shaking, so I'm sorry if y'all are shaking, but it was intense 45 minutes for me. So I'm home, still super red-faced. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow, I guess. Kids had put meatloaf in the oven. I forgot to tell them to do it, so it's a little late. It's already 7:30, but I'm gonna take a shower and then eat. I'm so hungry, but that was my bad to not tell them to put it in for me. So here is our sour cream and onion mashed cauliflower, and here is our meatloaf. Y'all, I don't know if everybody loves meatloaf as much as I do, but I make meatloaf so many different ways, and it's always so good. I'm so hungry, but I'm gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes and then I will plate it up. All right, y'all, I couldn't wait. I didn't wait 10 minutes. I waited like 5, maybe. There is my meatloaf. In piece is my favorite. So I got the in piece and some mashed cauliflower, and I am ready to dig in. Oh my goodness. This meatloaf is so good. Oh my gosh. Yum. All right, we are at the end of the day, y'all. I am getting ready to go to bed. My face is still a little red, but it's not feeling hot. It's calming down. And truthfully, it's red at the end of every single evening. It's just part of, I guess, how I react with rosacea. My chest and my face always gets red at night. You've probably noticed that if you followed me. But I wanted to talk about macros real quick before I cut off for the day. So my energy today, my energy today has been low. No, that's not what I meant to say. The calories that I ate today were 1,062. I usually shoot for 12 to 1,400. Try to be in the happy medium around 1,300 most days. Today we ended up at 1,062. Protein 79.6, carbs 15.1, and fat 73.4. So I'm pretty happy with that. I had a really yummy day, but I also had more dairy than I really meant to have. I've said I was gonna limit dairy, and I meant to have like 1 element of dairy in the entire day, or even 0 some days. Today I had cheese on my burger, and then there was some butter and some sour cream and the mashed potatoes. I did not eat a ton of mashed potatoes, but that was dairy twice, so didn't hit really kind of what I really want my goal to be, limiting dairy, but I'll try and do better tomorrow. I don't even know what I'm having tomorrow. I am not fully planned out, y'all. I did plan out dinners because we're doing a pantry challenge, but I did not plan out exactly what I'm gonna eat. I'll probably have meatloaf for lunch tomorrow with mashed cauliflower, and then for dinner, I think I'm gonna make fish, but I'm not sure. We shall see. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope maybe you wanna join in on this. I hope you were encouraged in some way or shape from me today, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye, y'all. Be blessed.